Okay, let's order the meeting of the Policy Review Committee. All members of the committee are present. Let's begin with the flag salute. Rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. We don't have minutes for this one. Okay, so before we start, I'm gonna hand this out to everybody. You guys are gonna like this. Isn't Charles? It's a cool chart. Because we are a technologically proficient organization, right? So what this is I took all of our policies and I ran them through AI and I said, find me every misspelling and grammatical error that's in the policy language. Do not give me recommendations about better language. Just find the flat out errors. So it produced this wonderful chart that shows us each one of them and what needs to be, what's missing a space and what needs a semicolon to finish it and that sort of thing. And it was like way easier than us having to prove it. So yeah, I would suggest maybe we make that a regular practice and then we could just say, we acknowledge there are always going to be typos, give them to Tammy. Tammy can go through and insert them. We don't need to spend time on it at this meeting. That's okay with everybody. Yeah. We'll just clean them up, make it fast. That sound all right? Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Scott.
With that, we have a whole bunch of policies to march through. So Dr. Hodge, your name is on every single one of these.
Except the last two.
Except
We're
for
turning over to the soon to be Dr. Joe Vieira.
Are you gonna be a doctor also?
No, good people.
Congratulations. I've never had so many doctorates in our admin.
People have four. Dr. Laura. Dr. Laura Norquist, Dr. Rita Noble.
Can you cure cancer?
We can try.
As big as the CDC.
All right, if you're ready, board or chair, I'll start with ACAAR. So this has already been through the committee once. You'll notice on the first page, we're adding that superintendent or designee. And then a question came up about an appeals process. And Tammy was able to find there is an appeals process in here, numbers 3, 4, and 5. Is that correct, Tammy? I'm reading the cover sheet correct?
Yes.
So we would recommend, we feel good moving forward this one onto the board.
You good with that?
Second.
We didn't have a
am
vote
not-
yet.
yes.
Was that your motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Kevin Barnes. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Move it along. Every student belongs, ACB.
Yeah, so ACB, we had gone through this. We didn't have any language changes. However, and we'll come to this later after we've gone through the policy. We found a kind of issue with our process where we send them to community school boards and then the day before board meetings, we'll get feedback from community school boards. And this is one of those examples. So in your packet, you'll find an email that has, it looks like it's on page 2 of the community school board's email. And you'll see it says ACB, and what they did, they have some proposed revised language that just goes a little more deeper and into when a student commits a bias incident. They have some language that kind of spells out a little more, includes some parental rights things as we'd expect from community school boards. This one, as far as staff, we don't have a strong recommendation whether to include it or not. We thought this committee could review the proposed language and decide whether we wanted to make that addition or
Are
not.
you talking about the July 13th email? Or the July 8th email?
Yes.
We said this before.
Yep, so they sent it to us right before
Right.
a school board meeting.
And I thought we said we were gonna send it to staff with recommendations for staff to review.
We've reviewed it. We can add this policy language. what it is, it just provides essentially more parental rights, notification.
I thought it was way too wordy.
It seems,
I thought it was word
it
salad.
seems a little much.
100%. I said too wordy. In minutes.
Is anybody else excited about new language? Revised language?
Well, that makes sense, but it is language.
It calls out parental notification, however, that's already part of what we do, so it's almost overkill. Because there never would be a time that we would give a discipline without, like this, without notifying, parents, so it is overkill in a sense, so it just depends on whether this committee believes we need to add additional language or not.
And when it goes on to say the district shall apply this policy narrowly, it's like. I vote no.
It actually adds some subjectivity to it.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
Kimberly, roll on that.
Anybody want to make a case for it? All right, well then let's move on from that conversation and talk about anything else we want to do. Is the rest of it okay? We happy with this?
Yes.
Let's make a motion.
A motion to put policy ACB to the board for approval.
Second that.
Any discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, unanimous. BBAA.
BBA, you'll notice, in the first paragraph, the third paragraph, some, added language. Just further describing when a board member is acting in their official board capacity versus sharing an opinion in personal capacity. So clean up that language, and then you'll notice the one discussion piece on here is the last line, 38 and 39. That we just highlighted to, I think the note said we wanted to unpack that further. That just has to do with contracts. I think it was whether we could even enforce that.
You can't.
Yeah.
I have that note in my files. On 11 and 12, I would like somebody to explain to me when I am making a personal opinion versus a board opinion. All my opinions are personal opinions.
That's good.
Our discussion around this was when you're saying, I'm making this as Scott Cooper personal opinion versus I'm speaking as Scott Cooper in my position as a board member. That was the distinction
Well,
there.
I know, but that is not what it says.
We'd welcome additional language changes if that,
Or strike it out.
strike the whole thing out.
My proposal is strike out lines 11 and 12. They don't add anything and they're not actionable. I don't know what to do with that.
That's true.
And then I would also agree with you that 39 and 40, and I actually remember discussing this at the previous view of this. Is just a paper tiger, because there is no legal authority to hold a board member liable. Don't sign contracts. You are not in a position to represent the district.
I can't even think of a way that hypothetical would even
No.
exist. Except if a board member was going out and soliciting their own contracts out.
The board could vote to pursue a civil action against a board member who improperly
Yeah,
obligated us and seek a court order to order them to repay. That would be the way you would deal with that,
yeah.
but we don't have the authority to do this through policy.
So yes, we could strike 11 and 12 and then strike that last sentence as well. Would we do it?
You know, they're very
I think that's great.
objection. Any objection if we move this forward?
Yeah.
As is, then let's move on and not make a million motions. No, there being no objection, we will move it to the board. Board elections, BBB.
Yes, so this one we were asked to, it's interesting, in line 16, 17, 18, 19. You'll see it references the year, like spring 2023 and every year, 4 years thereafter. We took that to, the question was, can we take that to legal counsel? and see, do we need to update the years? And our attorneys advised us just to keep it as is because it says 4 years thereafter. Otherwise, you're changing it, I think, every time there's a new election, so.
Any changes anybody wants to make to that one? Objection if we move it forward? Okay, moving on to BBC.
BBC, this is just has to do when a board member resigns, and we strongly recommend a written resignation versus a verbal resignation. So this cleans up that language.
No changes to layered?
Nope.
Objection to moving it forward? Seeing none, we'll move on. BBD.
You'll notice down in line 19 of BDD, this is, in the scenario that we have multiple board members resign at once. This says the HDESD will appoint until we have a quorum, because we want our board appointing their own members, not the ESD. So that just adds that last line there.
Any other input? Objection? Moving forward. BFC.
BBFC, this just adds the annual mandatory child abuse mandatory reporting training to policy, which aligns policy with our practice and law.
Any further changes? Any objection to moving it forward? Forward to the board, moving on. To BCBA, BCA.
So this is one where we got our sleuth Kevin dug into the ORSs and they didn't list some. And you asked us to go check with OSBA and with some of the ORSs, and I'll read the explanation. OSBA shared that items 4 and 5 are not included in the OSBA model policy. They are common items completed at the organization meeting, and it is appropriate to include them in the policy if the board would like to establish practice of doing this. The correct citations for these two items are ORS 328.441 and ORS 328.445. OSBA explained that ORS 332.055 was included in the policy because the policy does not specifically include language about a quorum and the majority requirement. It would not be a problem to include the citation in the policy as it applies anytime a board votes. There have been no changes made to the policy, so. OSBA pretty much told us don't worry about it, but we can add those two if needed. And there is two grammatical, just a semicolon on lines 4 and 5.
The two we're adding are 4 and 5.
We are not adding, OSBA says we do not need to add them.
I mean, they're already in here. They're printed, so.
Yes, they're already in our existing
Right,
policy.
yeah. Okay, so maybe could we just add the ORS reference down below to 338 that they mentioned?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they're in there and that's why they're. And then do we need to do anything else? And then move it forward with that modification? Any objection? Okay, modify it, move it forward. Because there was no objection. Okay, cool. Executive session, BDC.
I think BD,
I'm sorry.
BDA.
BDA.
And because I wouldn't want to deprive our tech director, Eric Ryan, this is one where we came across that there is something in the footer of board emails, some language to add. So we confirmed that Eric will work with every board member between now and the start of school to get that added to your footer, as it is good language and pretty common. I know staff all have those disclaimers, so. The disclaimer is on line 58.
That was a statutory reference. So we call, weirdly enough.
Interesting. It's good to have that language, especially as new board members
Yeah, it is.
come on to kind of have that realization. So Eric stands ready to help board members add that to their email.
Can Eric just go in and automatically add it to that?
He actually said he has to log in, was his understanding, but
Right, any changes to BD, BDA other than that? Objection to moving forward? None, move it forward to the board. BDC executive session.
this one you'll find a lot of additional language, and this comes from OSBA.
Okay, so on this one, I had some, on this one, on line 25. I wanted to suggest that we make that read prior to or at the beginning of the executive session, the board chair may read the following. Or a similar statement approved by legal counsel. Because this wording is an ever-changing thing, so I don't want to have to go back and change the policy every time the attorney has a new opinion. Would that work?
Following or a similar.
Or a similar statement approved by legal counsel. Would that work for everybody? Yes. Okay, and then. The, going further down the policy to lines 34, 37. And 47. Well, some, those additions, blue additions that are after the main policy that begin with may not. Okay, what is the subject of that sentence? What may not? Who may not? That's an independent clause following a semicolon. It should be complete with a subject and a verb. And it doesn't have it in either case.
We will make sure to send that feedback to OSBA so that other districts don't look as silly.
I mean, the simple solution is to insert ahead of all those may nots, the executive session. May not. That is the subject they're intending to, but we are a school district, for God's sake, speak English. Other conditions we make? Yeah, the objection if we move that forward with those suggested revisions. All right, Tammy, there you go, move it forward, we're in DDD.
BDD, this, the issue here is, whether to align practice with policy or policy with practice. So you'll see underlined on line 11, voting shall be by hand. We currently, that's not, we just do, auditory yays, nays. So we either can get rid of that and just stick with current practice, or we can start telling our board they need to vote with their hand.
I wanted to maybe suggest that the purpose of that is to differentiate how everybody is doing. So maybe we could just change it to individual votes shall be recorded.
Because that aligns with the ODC.
Exactly. So that's still in there. We know however individual do it. Individual vote shall be recorded. Instead of it just saying unanimous or, majority approved or something like that. And then we don't need it. Then it would be up to
It's not-
whatever the issue is, the chair can figure out how to vote.
So are you saying cross off voting shall be,
Cross off the yellow.
cross off the yellow,
Yeah.
and just add individual votes shall be
Individual
recorded?
shall be recorded. So however you're gonna do it, it still has to show what the individual did. And then that second yellow part is about as convoluted wording as I have ever seen. Why do we need all of this explanation of why we're following the ethics manual.
Hmm.
Why can't we just say, when a board member has an actual conflict of interest, he or she will not vote. A board member with a potential conflict of interest may not vote. Just that simple. Because this is like
Hard to read.
words out.
I struggle to read this one.
Words. It was just stupid.
That makes sense.
Wouldn't that be all right?
Yeah.
The most simple. Any other changes we want to make to that one? Any objection to moving forward to the board as amended? Yep. Okay, so. Good, moving forward, Ms. Timmy, BBBC.
BDDC, so this one, the one change is on line 7, and this has to do with, when a staff member, student, citizen want to add an item to the agenda. We had that thing at least 1 week prior to the board meeting. The board packet is already out 1 meeting prior, so we just took that, if we strike that sentence, then when they know we can get it on a future,
Yep.
potentially get it on a future meeting, so
Yep.
simple fix there.
Any other changes? The objection moving forward? There it goes. To the board. That's moving, we got some, BDG.
BDDG, this has to do with the minutes that are taken during board meetings, and in line 14, you'll see there's a section that says that they'll take the same level of minutes as public sessions, which isn't practice. We currently just record typically record questions, so that would take off that specific line.
I like that addition. The minutes on hours. And everybody okay with that? Any other changes? Any objection to move it forward? None, we'll move forward, BBBG. Policy development.
BF, you'll notice
This, let's be Homeric, this is literature.
sitting at the policy development committee. So we updated some language to better align, first of all, clean up that language on line 9. And then you'll see on line 21 through 24, we added language about our process, this process with the policy committee.
I like that you allowed for the fact there might not be a policy committee.
Yes,
That was a good idea. So this last on line 30. The last blue sentence, that's actually, I think, wrong. An affirmative vote of a quorum of the board shall be required to adopt a proposed policy change on the second reading. I think that can still be interpreted to mean a majority of the quorum, which cannot be,
yes.
it has to be at minimum, the quorum. So the language equal to a quorum. An affirmative vote equal to a quorum of the board shall be required to adopt the policy.
yeah,
That would be more accurate. Because if you got 3 board members who show up, 2 cannot adopt the policy. Still gotta be 3. Any other changes to that section? Everybody good with moving it forward to the board? Any objections? Objection? We shall move forward. BHB or BFCA.
EFCA, this is our first review. We pulled this policy. It was around the board approving all ARs, which my decade here is a important value to our board. So we just wanted to review that language.
But did you want to review about it?
I think we just wanted to say, are we good with this?
Ask one more time. This is called the sales tax clause.
I
We've
know-
asked 10 times. and
I
we've
know
always said
nothing
no.
different. I have zero strong opinions about this. It says that we said, the committee will discuss and review the highlighted language and prepare to, the language meets the request.
Kevin, do you wish to change this? No. Okay, so you don't wanna change it, and I don't wanna change it, and nothing can move forward without a board member, so there's nothing to
There you
change.
go.
All right,
Good point.
any other changes anybody wants to consider? Seeing none, is there any objection to moving this forward? I'm sure Joel doesn't object at this point. Okay, great. We will move that forward, Tammy, BFCA as is. Moving on to VHB.
Yeah, if you remember VHB, this is about board members attending conferences, board member professional development, and in line 22, you'll see, I think it was Mr. Cooper that said, when are funds not limited in a school district? So we crossed that off and reworded that sentence, and then, so that's just the one language change, and then we highlighted this number 5. This is again, do we want our policy to match practice or practice to match policy? Either is fine. But this says when a board, when a conference, convention, or workshop is not attended by the full board, those who do not participate will be requested to share by means of written or oral reports, information, recommendations, and materials acquired from communities. So we don't always do that.
Nor should be.
Yeah, so we could strike that language.
Well, I wondered if we could leave, I like the idea of sharing, but I don't necessarily want to hear.
Yeah.
Could we change the will to a may on
Yeah.
26? Line 26, last word on 26.
Yeah, that doesn't
Then-
lock us in.
So, you know, I remember a time when a certain board members, let's say, liked to attend conferences on the most esoteric of topics, and I wasn't all that interested in hearing everything they may have to report, so.
This gives us the option.
Right. That'd be okay with everybody?
No argument.
The other changes you want to make to this one? Don't see anything? The objection to moving it forward? Seeing none, we will move it forward. VHB is done, VHD, no, VHD, yes.
Yeah, so there's a small language add on line 6, and then there was questions. This is one we were able to reach out to, I believe, OSBA on. Because there was one ORS, they updated House Bill 2753. And there was a question of like when something's blank in an ORS, and OSBA said when a subsection is repealed, legislative editors may mark a placeholder as intentionally left blank. So that's why,
Okay,
yeah,
because there's.
so it means something was repealed,
Mhm.
so they keep it there as a placeholder.
Okay,
That solves a mystery that.
Yeah, it does.
We could,
found several like that.
yeah,
Mhm.
now we know.
Yeah.
Changes to this one, changes, pretty good as in.
Yep.
Objection moving it forward. Seeing none, we will move forward with that one. Okay, we are on CH.
So CH, and then I'm also gonna talk about the next two, CHA and CHCA, because this is one where policy CH, we have just a few minor language revisions. But then the question came from the committee of, can we just consolidate all 3 of these? So we reached out to OSBA and they recommend we do not do that and that they remain standalone policies. So the language change on policy CH, and then the other 2 are there just to say that we haven't asked. I think there was one, sorry, policy CHA, the second one, does have a grammatical fix on line 14.
Okay, you change it to CH. All right, you got objection moving it forward? None, we'll move CH forward, CHA. See any changes on that
It's
one?
very small. I look for it,
There it
line
is,
14.
that
you'll
little,
see that.
whatever it is.
There was an extra apostrophe in there.
Right.
It's like,
Any other changes? Okay, any objection? CHA forwards, HCA handbooks and changes. Any objection? Moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay, you wanna talk about all of these Ds that were dropping out?
Yes. Those were all, Anna requested to take a deeper dive and make recommendations, so we wanted to give her that time, so Anna's in the
Okay, so
process.
these are coming back.
They're coming back, yep.
Right. All right. Joe, tell us all about the section.
Well, other than, thank you for the chart and the typos and, you on the bottom for GBN, so do those, but then we asked for feedback from CSBO and similar to the other policy, ACB. I think it's solid, but it could be strengthened with additional wording. So if you look on the email that was included in the proposed revised language, the only addition to the first paragraph on page 2 of 9, on line 70. Page 2 of 9, line 70. The only addition to the first paragraph is adding in the third line down or Title IX coordinator would be the proposed revision. And then on the email underneath there, there's an additional paragraph that they suggested adding to that as well. Like I said, the CSBO thinks it's solid, but this might just strengthen it a little more. The other suggestion they had was on for minor revision under Oregon procedures. Now we're looking at line 58, just above it. At the very end, it says this person is also designated as a 12-9 coordinator, and they suggested for us to add and shall coordinate. And shall coordinate with building administration. And shall coordinate with building administrators to ensure timely forensic notification in student involved cases, consistent with its policy and applicable law.
I think similarly to the last one, it's just describing the practice we do, so we can decide to add it and strengthen it there, or
We still have an overriding policy that floats away, correct?
yes,
So unlike every other policy
Yeah.
that, and then he's wanting to insert that language into every policy, we've already got that covered elsewhere.
and we have a whole webpage dedicated
Right.
to parental rights, so.
I don't personally think that useful, it's just duplicative. In my opinion, I don't know what it is to do there.
Yeah, I would,
You wanna, I said we already have a policy on parental rights, is this not just duplicative?
Well, I think it's fine the way it is, if it is okay with moving forward without the additions. I think
So are you
it's okay.
recommending any changes to this?
We didn't hold that.
Don't have it, Kevin, and then,
This entire policy.
yeah.
So, so if you get to the section where it says notice on page 3.31,
It's line 122,
line 246.
different section. 246, okay.
So there's a chunk that's missing here. So. You read that sentence,
And what that comes after the end,
exactly. So if you look at the next policy that we have is in there. Because it's essentially the same thing, just reversed, right? So then.
Oh, that's gonna be weird. What is the one on the back?
There. You look at page 3.32. On 7-8, sorry, 7-8. It adds a number 3, so it's clearly just missing.
so we just need to drag forward.
Oh, is it the? It just, they have this long footnote, so I think it's already on there, just, yeah, flip it over. It's just a really long, but yeah.
So, okay, so but then the footnote. I see. Okay. Never mind, it's there.
There.
I thought that was tonight.
That was a great catch.
Dang it.
Were you there for our last one? Kimberly led the show with the amount of catches. She's looking to keep her title.
Good for you.
So then I wonder, why isn't the formatting the same, where that footnote doesn't mess it up like that? So it's essentially the same thing. So maybe something to still look at for this one.
Well, and my guess is when we put it into Simply, they'll look exactly the
There
same.
you go. Cause I was
So-
at, in the formatting in general, but.
Cause they should be the
So
same.
nice.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So I think that'll clean up those and then they should look identical.
Okay.
And all the footnotes are at the bottom of a policy through Simply, not on each individual page,
Good.
which is kind of
Yeah.
funky with the
Really
formatting.
fun.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other changes people want to make? Good try. Good, you're good to move this forward? I mean, in all honesty, the number of legal references on page 307 scares the crap out of me, and I would just assume not mess with this policy. So, all right, with no objection, we will move this one forward with a recommendation to adopt, and then we get to GBN JBA, which does this. Say about that one, Joey, or
No,
one that's the same, that's it. Did you catch anything?
you got it. You changed it.
Good, Marcus, Kevin, no. Okay, so no objection, any objection to moving it forward? Okay, we will move that one forward. Everybody, let us, in the interest of getting this recorded, take a motion from somebody to adopt and move forward the policies as amended.
I'll make a motion to adopt the policies as amended.
Second, and moving forward, when you move forward, you and Joe seconded that motion. And all those in favor, raise your hand. And please note, because it's a unanimous vote, those opposed. It was unanimous, vote, we were done with that. All right, committee review of feedback.
Yes, this just goes to the community school board's timing issue that we ran across where this group recommends policy to move forward to the board. Then we send it to community school boards. Then they send us something right before the board meeting, so then it goes to the board. And the board says, well, why don't you review this community school board? So it creates a like a back and forth that's not needed. So the proposal is, once this group has a meeting like this and decides to move language to the board, we send that to the community school boards. But then it comes back, Tammy, am I getting this right? Comes back to this policy, comes back to this group, so that we can interpret the community school boards, make a recommendation to the board.
So I thought we had set that up so that we reviewed it the third month. And then we sent it out the fourth week. Yeah, my timing off on this. And then it came back, they had 1 week to comment, and then it came back to the next full meeting if we got anything back.
I think that's what this,
Or attempting to do. Somehow there's a week stay, and that's a
Yeah.
week before the board meeting itself.
that's the plan, is to not have it.
The second.
And I think part of it too, and community school board's been great at giving us feedback, but it's just if they do it the day before the board meeting, then it puts us all in a lurch. So we're just looking to clean up that process and.
So how would you? I mean,
I don't think.
key to it, you can't do it unless you have a short comment window.
Yeah,
And it opens and it closes predicted. There is a way to calendar it if you do it that way.
I think we were giving them a week, Tammy, I want to say. Yep, so we create that short window.
Because we had a meeting of the policy committee, the virtual meeting.
Yes.
Was the 10th, right?
Yes. And that,
So-
those will typically be the days of the board meeting, because it's the second Monday of each month.
That's easy.
That's where it gets a little
Yeah,
messy.
so, okay, so that was the way. So we would review here. We would put new policies out for comment the fourth week. So we're reviewing the third Monday. And then we're putting policies out to be returned by the I see the problem.
So
Then
this just.
then you're getting back our feedback on that policy on the
Yeah.
day of the board meeting. It's a little late.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the good thing about this, it delays it a month. However, because this group has been so efficient, we do currently have about 40 to 50 policies in the queue to take to the board. So this just pushes them out a month, if we get feedback.
Why couldn't we just have an optional, we've already got two, let's have three. An optional virtual meeting if we need to, so that we would put them out the third Monday of the month. They've got till, Friday, I guess we'd have to call them. They've got a week to review them. If we get anything back, then we'd have to call a special meeting, probably that first Monday of the month
Yeah,
to review any feedback.
the idea is to avoid having to call a special meeting, which adds additional focus and agendas and minutes to where if there were feedback, it would just come back to this group automatically.
Well, what if we bypassed their feedback and we just let the board deal with the community school boards? Maybe it doesn't have to come back to this group.
If this group wants.
Why do we
that,
have to be the ones to process that? Have the full board do that?
The board does trust this committee to
Right.
review. So just like what happened in these ones, I think they say, hey, why doesn't the policy commute? So this just pushes it to the next month. So it falls in our natural cycle. It'll just be a month later to get to the board. And it makes it so we don't have to schedule a third policy meeting.
That one.
Yeah, that works. It won't feel like we're getting as much done as quickly, but we'll know in minutes.
For you
Right.
guys.
We did get 20 new policies this evening, so we're at a pretty good clip right now.
Okay, so. Consensus enough on that one?
Yep.
Don't need a motion, anything? All right, rescheduling meeting.
January 18th is MLK Day and February 15th is President's Day, so. I'm not sure if you have big plans, but they probably don't include a policy committee.
But anything else you could do?
So we can shift those to the Tuesday, the next day.
Yeah. That's okay. Tuesday,
Would be January 19th. And February 16th. When's your birthday? Hey, you have a day off?
I'll go with that. I'm happy with that.
They say,
there's a pride.
yeah.
Okay,
Joel says that in my next. Yes.
we're all good?
Tuesday, we'll set them out.
I would send that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll move the meetings, the January, February meetings for Tuesdays, so like that, and then we've got a bunch more days for you to be reviewing yourself right there. Make sure they're good. We should probably, if we take a vote to deal with that.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we should probably vote.
Yeah.
So I need a motion to direct the secretary of the board to make the technical corrections for grammar and spelling. As identified.
Is that,
You're making the motion. Ken.
oh, I motion
I think-
for the secretary,
That was well worded.
motion for the
Is there a
secretary
second?
to add those,
Second.
like grammar within the policies.
Okay, Joe seconded that. All in favor say yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
opposed, motion carries unanimously. Done. Okay, so this 5:30 to 7:30 meeting is adjourned at 6:16.